Hello, I'm Ashley Best, and I'm the agriculture agent in Newton County. And this is my horse Dino. And Dino is an American quarter horse. And so today we're going to learn about horses and just a little bit about general horse safety, some horse basics like riding style. So this is my horse Dally, and she is a 9-year-old quarter horse. I do barrel racing with her, but we're going to talk about fly spray. Fly spray is very essential when you have horses. You want to keep the flies off of them. So as you can see, you can kind of zoom in right there. See, she has a couple flies on her, and see her skin moving? So if you barely touch her, they can feel a fly land on their back. So you want to use this fly spray and just, give a good coating all over their body to help keep the flies and the bugs off of them, ticks and things like that as well. And then it will keep your horses happy. This is my donkey Monzer, and donkeys are a part of the equine family. So just like horses, donkeys are included in that family. They have characteristically long ears, so you can see that Monzer's ears are really long, unlike our horses over there. Donkeys also have manes that stick straight up, so you can see his mane here goes straight up. It never grows longer than this. It always stays sticking straight up. And also, donkeys don't have a long tail like horses. Their tail's kind of thin, and then it gets long at the end. So you can see here, it gets kind of long at the end. So donkeys are very hardy. They're great little pets. They have a big personality. Monzer here has a really big personality, and he holds grudges, so he's probably gonna hold a grudge for me making him be on video today. When you are tacking up your horse, you always wanna brush them first. So this is a soft bristle brush. So I wanna make sure that I get all the dirt off of them, make sure they're nice and clean. And you especially wanna focus on the parts where the saddle goes. So the saddle goes on their back right here. And then the girth goes down behind their shoulders here. So you want to make sure that there's nothing that's going to stick them or poke the horse or anything like that. So you want to continue to brush the horses and make sure they're nice and clean. Go ahead and get both sides. Also, you want to make sure that you know where their feet are and that they're not going to step on your feet, and you're just being conscious about where they're stepping, if they're stomping at flies or if they're moving around, that you don't get your feet stepped on. This is his brand, and you can see it's a freeze brand. And what brands do is they identify the animal. So this is actually his breeder's brand, and it signifies that he came from a certain farm and they know who bred this animal. So brands are used to identify. They can go on their hips, they can go on their shoulders. I've seen brands down the hindquarters here, like this. I've also seen brands on the cheek. It doesn't necessarily hurt them. They do use a numbing cream, and it's just really cold. So it's like liquid nitrogen. They put it on there for probably 15-20 seconds, and then they take it off, and the hair grows back white like that. Whenever you are tacking up your horse, the first thing that you want to do is put the saddle pad on. And today we're going to tack Dino up in a Western saddle. And I'll talk about what Western saddles mean in a minute. But I want to use my saddle pad. So this is a thin liner because I want to keep my saddle pad nice and clean. So I use a thin liner, and then we're going to put the saddle pad up there. Make sure it's good and centered on him, and it sits up off of his withers. And so this saddle pad is made of wool, and wool is really good at wicking away the sweat and the moisture. So this is a Western saddle. You can tell it's a Western saddle because it has a horn and it has a really high back and lots of leather. So we're gonna go ahead and swing it up on Dino and tack him up in Western attire. So when you tack up a Western horse, you wanna make sure you do it in one fluid motion. You don't wanna bop them in the side or knock them upside the head. And then, now that the saddle's up there, we're gonna attach the girth. And so I always make him step up one just so that he's, you know, nice, well, so he's nice and stretched out. There we go. He's not gonna pinch him. And you tie a small knot, but it's pretty simple, pretty easy. And then we're done. This part is called the bridle, and this metal part is called the bit. And the bit is the part that goes in their mouth. And you want to be very gentle with it, very easy, because horses do have soft mouths. And when you're riding a horse, you never want to pull on their mouths or jerk them or jee-haw or kick really hard or anything like that. You always want to be soft and gentle and asking. So this is Dino's headstall bridle set, and then these are his reins. So we can go ahead and I'll show you how to put the headstall on. So I take the halter off, but I leave it around his neck just so he doesn't run off. And then I have my headstall. I do like this. I go up between his ears and I grab the top of it, and then I just guide it into his mouth. And he should just open his mouth pretty gently. He's drooling. He's drooling. And so then it's just one ear through one hole, and this goes behind the other ear. And we hook our reins to it. And Dino is ready to ride. So Dino's ready to ride. So one of the things that I'm a big proponent of is safety, and I always wear a helmet. Every time I ride, every time I get on a horse, I always have a helmet on. And it's just to protect you, to protect your brain. You're too smart not to wear a helmet. So I am a big you know, supporter of wearing helmets, especially for youth riders. So this is my helmet. You can get helmets in all different colors, all different sizes, all the way from little kids up to adults. So these are great helmets. We had a question earlier about how do horses sleep. So see, Dino right now, he's kind of snoozing a little bit right now. He's taking his afternoon nap. But horses do sleep laying down. So if they're going to go to sleep all the way, they're going to lay down and they're going to rest. So they do kind of take little cat naps standing up like this. They'll just kind of rest and relax and in the shade and close their eyes. But if a horse is going to sleep, which they do very often, they will lay down all the way. So this thing is called a hoof pick, and we're going to clean out Dino's feet. So you're going to run your hand down behind and pick up their feet. So see how dirty it is? And it's just like cleaning underneath your fingernails. You want to just, it doesn't hurt them or anything like that. You just dig it out. And you want to do this every day and make sure that there's no rocks or anything like that in here. Because if there's a rock in here, it's going to hurt. And he's going to get sore. So you want to clean it out really good. Shake it out. And so you have a nice, clean hoof here. So really nice and clean. And you want to do that for all 4 feet. And especially if a horse has on shoes. So Dino has on his shoes. I like to think he has on Nikes. Makes him run faster. So it's a great horse practice. When you're thinking about buying a horse or you're looking at a horse, you can age horses by their teeth, or you can have a veterinarian age the horse by their teeth. So you just open their lips and you look at their teeth. So you can see Dally's teeth there. She's 9 years old. And the tooth that you're looking at is this tooth right here. So there's more research that you can do on how to age a horse correctly, and you kind of have to have some practice and some experience with it in order to age them correctly, but it's a good way to get a general age of a horse. And it's important to have your horse's teeth floated every single year. And what that means is as the horse ages and as it grows up, its teeth continually grow, and they continually grow out, and they're grinding against each other as they chew grass and as they eat, and they can eventually grow sharp points. So they kind of grind unevenly, and one tooth grows longer than the other, and they'll have sharp points. And their teeth go all the way back into here, into this section here. And you want to make sure that those sharp points aren't going into the horse's gums. So you have to take them to a veterinarian or an equine dentist, which is a great career to have. And they get sedated and they open up their mouth and they go in there and they file their teeth down. It's just like you go into the dentist. It doesn't necessarily hurt, but it's not really a fun experience. But they benefit from it afterwards, and that's something that you do have to do every year. So this is an English saddle, and if you notice, there's a major difference. English saddles do not have a horn, so the horns are designed for roping or holding on to when you're riding a young horse or barrel racing, doing performance events. The English saddle is designed for jumping, and so if you were to try to jump in a Western saddle, the horn might hit you in your stomach. And they're a lot lighter. The girth is attached by buckles here, and the stirrup leathers are pretty skinny, and so the stirrups are kind of small. It's great fun. You have to have good balance when you're riding in English, and it's really great to start out in an English saddle if you're first learning how to ride. So finding an English trainer and learning the fundamentals and the basics of riding in this kind of saddle, riding with no stirrups, it's all a great way to get started in horses. It's going to build that great solid foundation.
Really?
I told you he doesn't like being clean.